Dante Rivers wasn't born strong. He carried his body like it was a burden, avoided mirrors, skipped gym class. He was the kind of guy who wore 2 shirts just to hide what he was ashamed of. On the outside, chill. On the inside, embarrassed. Every time he took his shirt off, it felt like the world saw what he couldn't hide. He hated his own reflection, but more than that, he hated that he gave up on himself. Until one day, no cameras, no witnesses, no outside push. Dante did what no one expected from him. He started. No technique, no strength, no stamina, just one thought in his head. What if I'm the only one who believes in me? While everyone else chased shortcuts, he sweated alone. While others laughed in their comfort zone, he cried in his discomfort. And it was there, no muscles, no shape, no applause, that the man no one saw coming was born. Today he inspires, but yesterday he could barely get off the floor. Everything changed the day he stopped asking, why me? And started facing the one question that really matters. Why not me? Dante's first workout was a silent humiliation. He walked into the gym with an empty chest and a sick stomach, avoided eye contact with everyone, grabbed the lightest weights and still could barely lift them. His arms shook. Breathing was all over the place. Sweat was already dripping before his 3rd rep. While everyone else looked like they were dancing through machines, Dante was stumbling over his own feet. It wasn't just a weak body. It was the shame, that feeling like everyone there, him included, knew he didn't belong. But he stayed, finished the workout. Stumbling, embarrassed, ego in pieces, but he stayed. In the car, he cried, but it wasn't sadness. It was rage, swallowed pride, shame mixed with courage. Because this time he didn't run. And the next morning, sore all over and with his mind screaming, you can't do this, he went back. And he came back the day after, and the day after that. He had no rhythm, no technique, but he had something even he couldn't explain. He wasn't training for a competition, not for summer, not to post some before and after pic. He just wanted to stop hating himself. He wanted to wake up one day and really feel like he was trying. Every sloppy set, every crooked rep, he was breaking down that image that had paralyzed him since he was a kid. He wasn't the kid running out of gym class anymore. He was the guy who kept showing up knowing full well he'd still fail. Because deep down, Dante had realized something most people don't have the guts to admit. The first step of any real transformation hurts like hell. And that pain is not weakness. Pain is the rite of passage. Pain is the price of entry. Most people can't take it. Most quit. But Dante didn't want to be most people anymore. He didn't know how long it would take. But he knew one thing for sure. He never wanted to go back. And that was the spark. Small, sweaty, shaking inside. But it was fire. And it was real. 2 weeks went by. Then 3. Then a month. And nothing changed. His body was still soft. His belly still hung over his waistband. His arms, no definition. Chest, still sunken. Posture, same old slump. Dante trained every single day and each one felt just like the last. Pain, sweat, effort, no reward. Even his shoes started to complain. His workout shirt had permanent sweat stains. The water in his bottle started to taste like giving up. Time kept moving, but the mirror gave him nothing back. There he stood shirtless, staring with a kind of emptiness that hurt worse than any squat. The mirror doesn't lie. It tells the truth nobody wants to hear. You're still the same. Dante punched the sink once, clenched his jaw, fought the urge to cry. He was mad at the world, but mostly mad at himself. That moment was his toughest opponent yet. The time between planting and harvesting. That gray zone where most people quit, where the muscles haven't shown up. But that's when Dante learned something no workout plan ever teaches. Training your body is easy. Training your perspective. That's the hard part. The kind of mindset that doesn't chase instant results, that doesn't need a transformation with every selfie, that can embrace the process, even when there's no proof it's working. That day, staring into the mirror, Dante got it. Transformation doesn't start on the outside. It starts when you refuse to be who you used to be. So he turned his back on the mirror. And for the first time, he wasn't ashamed. He didn't have the body he wanted, but he wasn't the man who started this journey either. The next day's workout still hurt like hell. The weights still felt heavy, and the mirror still said, not yet. But this time, Dante replied silently, that's all right, because now he started to see more than just a body. He saw routine. He saw discipline. He saw a man being reborn, even if it was slow. The mirror never lies, but it also doesn't lie about who's got the guts to keep going, and Dante wasn't quitting. Dante started breaking on the inside before anything gave out on the outside. It wasn't some dramatic moment, no big excuses, no meltdown. It was subtle. Sneaky. First, he hit snooze a little longer. Then he left the gym a bit earlier. This workout's rough. I'll make up for it tomorrow. Tomorrow became later. Later became never. And before he knew it, 5 days had passed and he hadn't touched a single weight. That old voice, the one he thought he'd buried, came back. And this time it came back louder than ever. Nothing's changed. Relapse doesn't start in the body. It starts in the mind. He didn't have the strength to fight it. The mirror, which used to just bother him, now straight up hurt. Food lost its flavor. Routine lost its rhythm. The days started blending together again. It felt like everything he'd fought for had just slipped through his fingers. And the cruelest part? No one noticed. Nobody really cares when a man gives up on himself, because quitting doesn't make noise. Until one random night, lying there staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep. Maybe he needed to fall again, just to remember why he got up the first time. It was about refusing to be the weak version of himself. That night, still in bed, he made a decision, but not the same way. Because this time, he wasn't just going back to the gym, he was going back to war. The next morning, he didn't wait for motivation, didn't care about the vibe, didn't need a playlist. He just laced up, swallowed the pain, and went. The first exercise hurt like day one all over again. But he didn't stop. His muscles were screaming. His brain yelled, "Quit!" But Dante stayed silent, because when you come back after falling, something shifts. It's not just the body, it's your soul. That workout wasn't polished. He wasn't fighting the scale. He was fighting the urge to give up. And that day, Dante won, not against the world, not against others. He beat the version of himself that thought he'd already lost. No one really knows the exact day Dante changed. There was no theme song, no confetti, no big post to celebrate. Just another workout that looked like any other. But something about it was different. The bar didn't shake in his hands anymore. The sweat wasn't from fear anymore. The mirror didn't bother him anymore. His body had changed? Yeah, that part was obvious. Abs were showing, shoulders were broader, his eyes steady. But the people seeing him like this for the first time, they didn't get it. Because the most impressive thing wasn't the looks, it was the presence. Dante had stopped walking like he owed the world an apology. Now he took up space, not with arrogance, with truth. And people started to notice. The compliments came, the surprise, the buzz. But for him, it was all late, because by the time the world finally started to see Dante, he'd already been seeing himself for a long time. The real victory wasn't physical, it was mental. That guy who used to quit everything, who avoided mirrors, who always said, "I'll start Monday." That guy's gone. The gym wasn't punishment anymore. It was a conversation, a ritual, a reminder that he survived himself. The body he built, just the reflection of something way bigger. A decision, an internal war fought with no audience, a promise made in the dark and kept in silence. And when people ask Dante today, "Dude, how'd you do it?" He doesn't talk about reps, doesn't mention diet, doesn't bring up workouts. He just answers with the same words he whispered back then. On his knees, weak, shaking, soul worn out. Why not me? Because at the end of the day, it was never about muscle. It was about not being a prisoner of his own story anymore. And when you choose to write a new one, the world has no choice but to listen.